Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Podcast G. I'm your host, Gatloa Kair. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy new year 2025. I hope the new year find you all well in good spirit with your families and loved ones. We appreciate all our viewers for always staying in touch or stay in on up to date on regards to our viewership and our podcast. So we appreciate you all. Thanks again, and happy new year to all of you and your loved ones. um, Today is not a podcast. uh, Today we are not recording an episode. Today is just, again, we want to extend our sincere apologies for last week. We were supposed to record second part of episode 4 with Cortop, Executive Director of Komkan Africana Institute, also the current president of South Sudanese Community Association in Calgary. Unfortunately, timing has been very difficult for both of us. Uh, for those of you that know how organizations are run in the Western world, so January and February to the end of March is very difficult time because it is the last quarter of the year. So core is very busy. We, in terms of all the reports, preparing himself for the end of the last quarter of the fourth quarter of 2024, the fourth quarter of 2024. So he's very busy. So it's hard to even 1 hour of his time is very difficult for us to compare our time and how we can come about to do the recording for the second part of episode 4. So we hope our viewers, our followers, our sincere apology. Of course, Amos Core will be back on the podcast again when the times allows, when his schedule is open. On that note, I want to also thank all of you for bearing with us, for your patience. So again, episode 4 part 2 with Cortop is cancelled until further notice. Core is very busy as we are approaching the end of the fourth quarter of 2024, if you know what I mean in terms of reporting and whatnot when you are running an organization. So the last quarter is the end of March, and January and February are the very busy time of the year when you have to compile your entire quarters together for the last year. Today, I just want to give you guys a recap of what Podcast G has accomplished in the year 2024. We kick off this podcast in early November of 2024, and so far we have recorded 4 episodes. I just want to, when we first come together to start this podcast, we had no clue how you, our viewer, will receive it, how people will perceive the content. I have to say that in the first couple of weeks, the first 2 weeks of 2025, reflecting back on the 4 episodes that we have recorded so far, man, I cannot, it's mind-boggling. We don't have a tons of followers yet, but the time, the viewership, it's not about how many followers you have on our Facebook page. South Sudanese Canadian Diaspora TV Facebook page. We have over 500 followers and over 500 likes, people that likes our page. And on our YouTube channel is not that great. I think we only managed to have I think only less than 10 people subscribes. I want to be really honest with you guys. And it is very normal for South Sudanese. It takes them time to grasp on the things that are important. Even though we only have 10 prescription on YouTube, our viewership, people that haven't prescribed yet, they view the content, they watch the entirety of the whole content that we have recorded so far. The hours put in for people to watch the entire content. It's not just clickbait. They don't just click the videos. They actually invest time to watch it. So I'm very thankful, and I'm blown away with how you guys receive the content we put in on Podcast G. So we want to thank you. We in this new year, 2025, I can assure you that we will better our content. We will devote our time and hopefully also get better resources in making sure that the content that we're putting out there for you guys, the quality is good. Everything that we put out, also the information that we share, the guests that will be joining us, they're well prepared. The questions, the conversation that we will be conducting will be fruitful. They will also reflect your own personal lives. So with that being said, so today is to wish everybody Happy New Year. While we get that out of the way, I also want to respond to some feedback that we received on Podcast G. Of course, these feedback we received are not through comments on the comment section, either through our YouTube or Facebook page. So of course we know us ourselves, especially particularly the South Sudanese, rather than commenting on the content that is shared or put in public domain, so we tend to reach out to the person that is putting out the content, give word of encouragement through face-to-face meetings, phone calls, etc., etc. So some of the feedback that I received, I had individuals calling me rather than them commenting. I also had friends that give me who were actually I did talk to face to face, and I appreciate all these feedbacks. All these feedbacks are for the betterment of the content we provide to all of you guys. We appreciate you. One of the feedback that I received from one of the uncle was that let's see, I wrote them down here. So he suggested why don't we present the content through our mother tongues. So the suggestion that was presented by this uncle was that he suggested that I think for us to better our content, we can present it in one of the South Sudanese languages, dialect, one of our dialect, which suggested would be either Togyang or Dinka language, or we could present some contents in Toknath or Nuer language, or maybe one of the language that we all South Sudanese understand, which is Arabic. Because this was a great suggestion, because he feel like the content we are presenting would be would so many people would have a better understanding if these contents are presented in the mother tongues, one of the South Sudanese dialects. Either is Toknat, either is Tokjiang, either is Arabic, and of course English is one of our language in South Sudan right now that majority are speaking are are using to understand each other. So just to answer this feedback that I received from the Hankor, I'm not gonna mention names. I think Uncle, I told you that the content we are presenting, our main target, or the viewers that we are trying to target with the content we are presenting, are the South Sudanese Canadians. That's our main objective. We are celebrating the main purpose. If you go back to the intro, go back to our introduction to the podcast. So the main purpose and objective to put this podcast together is to celebrate our South Sudanese Canadians who are here in Canadian diaspora that are doing great things, beautiful things for the community. Individuals that are engaged in community building, youth that are engaged in mentoring the young ones. So celebrating, the purpose of this podcast is giving flowers to individuals that are well deserving of their flowers, people that are contributing to the betterment of our community here in Canadian diaspora. So I do like the suggestion of presenting some contents in some of our mother tongues, but because we are here in Canadian diaspora, English is the language that majority of our youth, young people that would pick up on these contents we are presenting, they understand English better, and English is the language that they understand better rather than their mother tongues. Of course, we are not throwing this suggestion away, this idea away. We will be the content, the podcast is really new. As we get stronger, we will look into other options, how to expand it, make it a little bit bigger. But this is the beginning. Down the road, in few years, I might not be the one hosting it. I'm just kickstarting things that down the road might be even bigger than calling it Podcast G. I appreciate the suggestion. A brother called me and also encouraged me to continue putting out these contents. He gave me great encouragement not to listen into what is the word, our community. They are usually they usually envy. They are envious of something positive or something good that is being preached. So my brother encouraged me. People will be envious of me. People will discourage me to give up on this, that it is waste of my time and energy. And I appreciate the feedback. I will not mention names. Um, so so these are the feedback that I really need. Some feedback I will not go into through them. So these are some of the feedback that I need. Of course, uh, man, I give props to all the content creator out there. People that it takes a lot of energy and time actually to put all of this together. You have to look up the topic, make sure the invited guest uh, um, uh, is well prepared, because they don't get paid when like this is like in bigger podcasts, guests may get paid for their time, but I appreciate the guests that come on the show and actually give it their all to support this. Man, I receive very good feedback from the first episode that I recorded with Nyarod Jog. A lot of young people loved it, and I hope to engage more young people into this process this year. Um, of course, guys, I'm putting a lot of my time in. Uh, this is it's not monetized. It's free. Every chance that I get, I make sure that I record some. I reach out to the guests that I would be hoping to come in, and I appreciate every single person that came on the show, man. The interview with Core Top, it has a lot of viewers in our on our YouTube right now, and so many people love it. And I want to also remind our our viewers that I also got some feedback regarding to my interviewing process, folks. I need to remind you that I am not a journalist. This is a disclaimer that I want to most of you to know out there. Podcast G, it is the motto is candid conversations. It is not an interviewing process. I'm not inviting guests for an interview. I'm inviting them to come on the show to have candid conversations based on what they have done for our community, for the betterment of our community. That's it. The purpose is to invite guests that are engaged in community building, give them their flowers, how they have invested their time, their resources for the betterment of our community. That's it. Engage in conversation, and if I know the guests have done some significant things, rather than me asking him those questions or her those questions, I will make sure that I give her or him their flowers for the things that they have done for our community. That's it. That's the whole purpose of the show. I received some feedback from the last sit down that I did with Cortop, and some of our viewers felt like I fell short of asking Cortop some tough questions. This is not hard talk. This is engaging in candid conversations. For those of you that know Core, of course, you going back to what my brother encouraged me, the encouragement word that I received from one of my brother, he made it clear and stated that, like, and I'm not here to take shot at our community members. So people are very envious of anything positive. Anything that is positive, we hate it. We don't like it. If I happen to create this show right now and invite individuals to come and speak their mind, use curse words, attacking other individuals, we will have so many people tuning in to watch this. But because the purpose of this podcast is to celebrate people that engage in positive activities, people don't really care about it. In which I'm also happy that the viewers that are actually seeing this or listening or watching the episodes that we have recorded so far. 78% are in Canada, and 78% of individuals of our viewership, I could say approximately about 55-60% are non-South Sudanese. Are non-South Sudanese. And this is what we want, because we don't want to educate each other on things that are on issues that are important, issues that would uplift us. There is other individuals out there that have devoted their times to better our community, and these people deserve to shine. These people deserve their flowers, and I'm happy that non-South Sudanese are actually seeing what others are doing to better our community here in Canadian diaspora. So I'm happy that the large number that is viewing our contents are non-South Sudanese, because the narrative that they will have the change of narrative towards ourselves, the change of narrative towards the thing that we actually do. They will also have the change of narrative in terms of knowing that we are capable of providing mentorship to ourselves. So I'm happy, based on these numbers, I'm happy that the large number of people viewing our contents are non-South Sudanese, but they are also Canadians that are here that probably would have negative opinions toward us, generalizing the entire community that we are bad people. All we do is do bad things. No, I'm happy that the narrative is changing. The people that are viewing this content are actually, the large number are non-South Sudanese. That is a huge success in my book. So this is all I'm here to this is a quick update, also to give few acknowledgement to people that have reached out. 2025 will be a busy year, and I hope I will get some help down the road. People will be coming in to co-host, to actually, when I'm not around, they will take over, and then also come up with the content that would be also beneficial to us, all of us. Man, I'm very thankful, and I actually, the energy that I have right now in terms of giving you better content in few weeks to come is amazing. Next week will be very busy. I'm hoping to release 2 episodes, one next week actually. So we will have one of our sister. She devoted so many years in making sure that in the city of Calgary, South Sudanese culture becomes vibrant. South Sudanese culture is seen, as all of you know. We live in a multicultural society in which you can practice your culture any place, anywhere. So next week we will have face-to-face conversation, candid conversations with Sister Alom Akel. Sister Alom, she has done so much in terms of teaching our kids cultural dance. She led the South Sudanese cultural dance group for so many years. She has done a lot with so many of us that were in the community. As a former PR in South Sudanese community, I have an opportunity to engage we as Alum Akel in so many events engage our cultural group, from hosting Amnesty International dinner to South Sudanese ethnic gala to to meet the neighbors initiative. Man, Alum has done so much. It will be my honor and privilege to host her next week, on January 24th. Uh, uh, so we have a candid conversation on how, and also for me to give her flowers on how she changed the entire South Sudanese community in terms of cultural presentation, youth empowerment, because majority of the kids that she was teaching, most of them right now are grown to be, some are even, I think, young adult, and they are still practicing the cultural dances that she taught. Alum has invested a lot of her resources, driving, picking up kids from their homes, dropping them off, the gas, she has to use her own gas money. So these are the things that most of us need to acknowledge. We also need to celebrate these people. So next week we'll have Alum Akel on the show. Stay tuned. The flyer will be on South Sudanese Canadians Diaspora TV Facebook page. As soon as I'm done with this, I will post the flyer for you. Man, Alum, thank you for doing this. I look forward to having a sit down with you next week. Oh yeah, someone has requested. What is it? And guys, I want you to keep all these requests coming. Please just DM us on South Sudanese Canadian Diaspora, a Facebook page. If you have anybody that you think would be great, because if you want to participate on the show, we are happy. Somebody suggested for me to bring Gar on the show. Yes, Gar, I have reached out to Gar. Gar is very busy. I've reached out to him to see his availability, so we can also sit down for a candid conversation with Gar. Gar is amazing. He's doing a lot in the community. He's the president of the Forest Lawn Community Association, also not running a business, also running a non-profit, also as a full-time job, also a family man. So when I have actually, I reached out to Gar, and I look forward to his response. I have also a lot of people that will be on the show. It's just a matter of the time, the availability. Like I said, I'm doing this out of my own time. None of these guests also is getting paid for it, so we have to work on their schedule. So Gar, we look forward to having him on the podcast. Yeah, I have so many people. I look forward to having all these individuals, man. Awilo, James Gadetut will be on the show sometime next week as well, or the week after. Some law enforcement officers that are on, you guys know, in City of Calgary. Hopefully I will reach out to him, have a sit down with them. Dr. Wishlak, Dr. Neil Kuro Wishlak, also having so there are a lot, so many people that it just the time making time is very difficult, guys, and I want you to bear with me. Of course, I got bills to pay. I have to work. I'm a dad as well, so it's not as easy as it sounds. It requires dedication, commitment, and also good time management. Man, I appreciate all of you. Those are the quick updates that I need to give to all of you, and our sincere apologies. Amos Kurtop is very busy because when you are approaching the year end, when it comes to reporting, it is the fourth quarter of 2024. Core has to report, meeting with donors, meeting with partners, meeting with everybody that will close with Compan Africana Institute. I look forward to having Core another time, but with Alomakel, episode 5 with Alom, celebrating our cultural celebrating our vibrant culture, celebrating our vibrant culture with Aloma Kel. She has done so much for us. Sister Alom, we look forward to having you on the studio. I'm going to end it on this note, and this is off camera conversation that I had with Core. And this is why I want Core back to conclude is our conversation, because as a Canadian citizen, we have our responsibility, our individual rights, our individual responsibilities, in which no one takes from us. So all of us, 41 million Canadians, our duties, our combined duties, are what make Canada the best country in the world. The same also apply to us, the South Sudanese Canadians in diaspora. Each and every one of us has a role to play. The question is, and this is something that Core wanted to talk about, and I was very excited for it. You, as an individual, what are you contributing to your community? What is your contribution? And I don't want people to think that it is a challenge. I'm challenging this notion, but it is not a challenge. Each of us have a role to play for the betterment of our community, for the betterment of our Canadian society. As a person who happen to live in this great nation, what are you contributing? And of course, what I mean by contribution, everybody's paying taxes. You are paying taxes if you have a full-time job. That's another way for you to contribute to the Canadian economy. But how do you make your community better? So this is a question that Core passionately talked about, and Core stated that he got this. He was admired by former Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi. Naheed Nenshi asked Calgarian to choose 3 things as a Calgarian to contribute to the betterment of the city of Calgary. As a Calgarian, what was it that you wanted to do to contribute to Calgary a better, a vibrant city? The same applied to us. As a South Sudanese, myself, what am I contributing to make South Sudanese Canadians better? Don't look at the wrong thing that individuals or others may judge you on. Think of positive things that you as a person can, would, or will contribute to the betterment of your community. Think about it. Take your time. Don't take it as a challenge. It is an individual role to actually ask themselves, what am I doing to contribute to the betterment of this community? I'm asking myself, I'm not asking you. Same apply to you. Ask yourself on your own pace, what are you doing to contribute to the betterment of our community? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the recap that I want to send out to you tonight. I look forward to seeing you next week when Alon Makel join us on episode 5. Part 2 of episode 4 with Kurtop. It is not over. When the times allow, we will still will try our best to record that and present that to you. Again, for those that requested Gar, I have reached out to Gar and I look forward to his response. But within the next week or two, we'll have 2 guests appearing on Podcast G. And I want to thank you. I look forward to engaging with you more. If you have any suggestion, idea, or would like to participate on the show, feel free to send us a message at South Sudanese Canadian Diaspora TV Facebook page, or feel free to reach out to me, Galwa Kair, on my Facebook as well. Go prescribe on our YouTube channel at Podcast G-24, Podcast G-24 on YouTube channel. We would like to keep all these feedback coming in, guys. I don't care. Some of you are comfortable calling me on Messenger to give me these feedbacks rather than writing your comment. I mean, I don't care. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I want your feedback. I like them. I will try my best to read them. And if you are comfortable on me sharing your name, let me know. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Good night. See you next week. I'm your host, Gadloa Kayer. Thank you.